शीलः राज्ञां कुलं ब्राह्मण पाद शौचात् दूराद् विसृष्टं बत घ्रह्य कर्म. See, very easy. Don't have to worry more. It's very easy. When it is sh, then immediately the stroke is there. Then I ke upar one this is there. That means you should say Sheela. So practice like that. Ragyam kulam brahmana pada shauchad durad visrushtam bata ghrahya karma. So aho, aho. Alas. Sometimes alas, sometimes aha. Say na aha. That was aho you should say. That time also you should say aho only. Oh, what a wonderful scene. What is that scene? All the great sages have come here. He says, oh, we are really fortunate. Dhanyatamaha nupanam. I am most thankful. Because mahatama, because of you great souls, Sheelaha, we have been trained to get favors. Raja Rishi. He's not just Raja, he's a Raja Rishi. So we are Kshatriyas, but we are grateful of all the kings who are trained to get favors from great souls. Ragyam, Kulam, Brahmana Padaha. You have come here. Brahmana Pada. But we know that the great sages, they refuse Shauchad. Shauchad means they refuse. Durat Visrushtam. They refuse to even come near royal kings. Brahmanas, they don't want to come near Kshatriyas. They condemn them. Why? Because Kshatriyas into sense gratification, king, women, pride. So the sages, they go away from far distance. But we are very fortunate. Why? We are trained. Though we are Kshatriyas, we are trained to be Raja Rishis. That is why we have got favor from great souls. Generally, you sages consider royalty as a refuse to be rejected and left in a great distant place. Shauchad means mal, that is stool. You reject this royalty, stool. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu refused to meet Ramananda Rai. We know that story. Because Ramananda Rai came from the kingly place. He refused to meet, Prataprutra. So not Ramananda Rai, but Prataprutra. He refused to meet King Prataprutra. And Ramananda Rai did many yuktis somehow to get Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's audience to Prataprutra. Prataprutra was actually a very great devotee, but he is from royal order. And it is said sannyasis should not meet the kings because they are into money and women. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu followed that principle and said, no, I'm not going to meet Prataprutra. But still the devotees, Ramananda Rai, he used his diplomacy somehow to bring Prataprutra near to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So first diplomacy was what? He brought his son. Now first his garment, upper garment. Please give your upper garment. So the upper garment was given to Prataprutra. Prataprutra worshipped, but still that desire is there. When am I going to meet Chaitanya? Then his son was called. And as soon as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw his son was darkish in color, with curly hairs, with yellow garment. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw him as Krishna and hugged him. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu hugged him. This small boy was in ecstasy and he went home and he is in ecstasy. His father hugged him. Father also became in ecstasy. But then still, when am I going to see? When am I going to see? That desire is there. So it was Rath Yatra. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took rest for some time in Vallabha garden. At that time, Ramananda Rai and all other devotees told to Prataprutra, you now go before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but in a simple dress, in a devotee's dress. Don't wear all this crown and all these things. So he went in a simple dress and started chanting Gopike. When the verse came, Tava Kathamritam, Tapta Jivanam, Kavivireditam, Kalmashapam. Shavalamangalam Srimadatam Bhuvi Gurantite Bhuri Da Janaha. Immediately Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just caught up and hugged Prataparudra. So such see the diplomacy of Ramananda Rai was to bring a great soul near Lord. So here it is said, I am so fortunate, O Lord. Oh sages, I am really fortunate that you all have shown favor to me. Okay. Vimala Mataji, read the purport.
Hare Krishna. The fortunate king said, indeed, we are the most grateful of all the kings who are trained to get favors from the great souls. Generally, you, sages, consider royalty as refused to be rejected and left in a distant place. Purport. According to religious principles, stool, urine, wash water, etc. must be left at a long distance. Attached bathrooms, urinals, etc. may be very convenient amenities of modern civilization, but they are ordered to be situated at a distance from residential quarters. That very example is cited here in relation to the kingly order for those who are progressively marching back to Godhead. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that to be in intimate touch with dollars and cents men or the kingly order is worse than suicide for one who desires to go back to Godhead, In other words, the transcendentalists do not generally associate with men who are too enamored by the external beauty of God's creation. By advanced knowledge in spiritual realization, the transcendentalist knows that this beautiful material world is nothing but a shadowy reflection of the reality, the kingdom of God. They are not, therefore, very much captivated by royal opulence or anything like that. But in the case of Maharaj Parikshit, the situation was different. Apparently, the king was condemned to death by an inexperienced Brahmin boy, but factually he was called by the Lord to return to him. Other transcendentalists, the great sages and mystics who assembled together because of Maharaj Parikshit's fasting unto death, were quite anxious to see him, for he was going back to Godhead. Maharaja Parikshit also could understand that the great sages who assembled there were all kind to his forefathers, the Pandavas, because of their devotional service to the Lord. He therefore felt grateful to the sages for being present there at the last stage of his life, and he felt that it was all due to the greatness of his late forefathers or grandfathers. He felt proud, therefore, that he happened to be the descendant of such great devotees. Such pride for the devotees of the Lord is certainly not equal to the puffed up sense of vanity for material prosperity. The first is reality, whereas the other is false and vain. Hare Krishna.
He is trained because his grandfathers are devotees. His whole Vamshaj is a devotee. That is why he says, I am very fortunate, I am trained. Tasyaiva me ghasya paravaresho vyasakta chittasya gruheshva bhikshanam nirveda mulo dvijashapa rupo yatra prasakto bhayamashudhatte. When I am reading, you also read. Open your mouth. Read. I should see your mouth like this. Now what you're doing, I don't know, but you should read. Tasyaiva me ghasya paravaresho vyasakta chittasya graheshva bhikshanam nirveda mulo dvijashapa rupo yatra prasakto bhavamashudhatte. So tasya his evah me aghasya para avaraha ishaha. So sinful. Now see, here sinful is there, mine is there, avaraha mundane is there, para transcendental, ishaha controller, vyasaktaha chittasya overly attached mind, gruheshu to family members, family affairs, abhikshanam always, nirveda moolam the source of detachment, dvija shapa. So now let us see. Because of the Dvijashapa, the cursing of the Brahmanas onto me, what has happened? He has taken, now Lord is a controller. Isha, Lord is a controller of both transcendental and the mundane world. Para, avara. Para, avara. So what has happened? He has taken away. He has taken away. Tasyaha me aghasya. He has taken away all my sins. How? Just because of the curse. Because of that, he became the source of detachment. This curse became the source of detachment. Rupa yatraha prasaktaha. So I was too much attached, and all these attachment, my attachment was towards the family life. The Lord saved me. Bhayam ashu dhatti. Bhayam ashu dhatti. He has given a fear. And what is that fear? That I will be killed in 7 days. So because of that fear, he has actually detached me from this world. So though Parikshit Maharaj is not in fear, but still he says, who does not fear death? And that if a person comes to know that he is going to die, that itself is the greatest fear. So if a person comes to know that he is going to die, actually he should consider this as a special mercy of Lord, because he has been given the time to understand that he has to come out of this attachment. And this is the only way how Krishna, mobile silence, okay. So this is the only way how Krishna creates detachment. So now here two things are spoken. What is the two things? Krishna has saved me. He has appeared to me in such a way that only out of fear I will detach myself from the world. So there is no fear, but death itself is a sort of fear. Lord appears in the form of death. For a conditioned soul, that is a sign of fear. For a liberated soul, that is a sign for preparation. So liberated soul, a self-realized soul, prepares this examination. A conditioned soul, because of his attachment, he has fear. So here two things are spoken. He has overtaken me, graciously overtaken me. It means his kripa is there unto me. He has accepted me in the form of Brahmana's curse. Then in another line, if you see, he is presenting as if he is a conditioned soul. In one place, he is presenting in the form of a self-realized soul. Another place, another line, he says, because of my overly attachment to family affairs. Now, Parikshit Maharaj is a self-realized soul right from the womb. Why Krishna should give darshan to him? He has been personally saved by Krishna himself. So he is an exalted devotee. He is Bhagavata Uttamaha. He is exalted devotee. So in one place he shows that if a person comes to know about his death, then he has fear. But Krishna takes away his attachment in the form of death. Okay, Aruna Mataji read.
Hare Krishna, purport by Srila Prabhupada. Maharaja Parikshit, although born in a family of great devotees, the Pandavas, and although securely trained in transcendental attachment for the association of the Lord, still found the allurement of mundane family life so strong that he had to be detached by a plan of the Lord. Such direct action is taken by the Lord in the case of a special devotee. Maharaja Parikshit could understand this by the presence of the topmost transcendentalists in the universe. The Lord resides with his devotees, and therefore the presence of the great saints indicated the presence of the Lord. The king therefore welcomed the presence of the great rishis as a mark of favor of the Supreme Lord. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Next verse. तम्मोपयातं प्रतियन्तु विप्रा गंगा च देवी द्रुतचित्तमीशे द्विजोपसृष्टः कुहकस्तक्षको वा दशत्वलं गायत विष्णुगाथः तम्मोपयातं प्रतियन्तु विप्रा गंगा च देवी द्रुतचित्तमीशं द्विजोपसृष्टः कुहकस्तक्षको वा दशत्वलं गायत विष्णुगाथा. Every day what you should do is you should try to read these verses. These verses will purify our consciousness. Slowly read, slowly. There's no hurry. All these verses will be put in our consciousness. So here he says, O Brahmanas Vipraha, tam mopayatam pratiyantu. Tam, for that reason. Ma me upayatam, taken shelter. For what reason I have taken shelter? For that reason. Which reason? So that I'll be detached from the family life. See, it is connected with the previous verse. For that reason, I have taken shelter. Mother Ganga is direct representative of the Lord. Dhruta, now she should also accept him. Chittam Ishe, Chittam Ishe. Chittam means heart. I have already taken Lord into the heart. Dvija upavashtraha, upasrishtaha. Dvija upasrishta. Srishta means created. Upasrishta. Who has created? Brahmanas. How? Kuhaka. Something magical he has created. What he has created? Something magical. And what is that? Takshakaha. Snake bird. Now snake can fly or what? But this is something magical thing. It is not an ordinary snake. It has been created by the mystic power of the Brahmana. It is a snake bird. Takshaka is not just a snake. It's a snake bird. Va dashantu. Va dashatu. Dashatu means let it come and bite. Alam. Without any further delay, let it come and bite. Gayatu. Till that time, what we'll do? Let us sing. Gayatu. Let us go on singing. Vishnu Gataha. The narration of deeds of Vishnu. So, it is good. Just accept me, O Brahmanas, please accept me as a completely surrendered soul and let Mother Ganga, the representative of the Lord, also accept me in that way. For I have already taken the lotus feet of Lord into my heart. Let the snake bird or whatever magical thing the Brahmana created bite me at once. I only desire that you all continue singing the deeds of Lord Vishnu. Okay. Gyandeep Prabhu, please read.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanyavat. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. As soon as one is given up completely unto the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, he is not at all afraid of death. The atmosphere created by the presence of great devotees of the Lord on the bank of Ganges and Maharaja Parikshit's complete acceptance of the Lord's lotus feet were sufficient guarantee to the king for going back to Godhead. He thus became absolutely free from all fear of death. Thank you, Mataji.
Actually, it's a fortune if a person comes to know his death. My grandfather was one of the fortunate person. When I was in the womb of my mother, I was just, I think it was 4 months she was pregnant. He had come and he taught my mother the whole Divya Prabandham. And don't know, he blessed my mother that this child which will be born, this child will be born in my tithi. I'm going to go and pass away. So he will be born in my tithi and this child will be speaking Bhagavatam. So that is the blessings which my grandfather had given. And my grandfather went to Varanasi and he told my uncle, take out all the envelopes, start writing. No, the inland card is to come. Start writing. My father has gone this date. He started crying. Father, what happened to you? Sit and write. After these 3 days, I am going to go. Just write. He made right? He stopped his food. He just was taking Ganga Jal. Varanasi has Ganga Jal. He started taking Ganga Jal. He was only hearing Vishnu Sahasranam, and in this way he left his body. So in the olden days, though they were all in the Grahastha life and all, but they were having such power because they were absorbed in chanting the holy name. It doesn't matter whether you are in the Grahastha ashram or Vanaprastha ashram. If you're chanting, actually you are a sannyasi within that ashram. So that was, he said, I'm going to leave the body. Now, see the acceptance. See that acceptance. That virakti, that acceptance is most important. And a person who's attached to Krishna automatically becomes detached to the worldly things, because he is seeing this as a passing from material world to the spiritual world. He is eager to go to the spiritual world. No, he thinks, what is this? Where am I stuck? Oh Lord, even if you want to give me another bird, let it be a Haituki Seva. Punascha bhuyad bhagavatante bhagavatante.
Ratihi prasangascha.
Beauty of phone, Prabhu. Rati prasangascha tadashayeshu mahatsuyam yamupayami srushti maitriyastu sarvatra namo dvijebhyaha. Punascha bhuyad bhagavatyante bhagavatyante. See, this is a very technical word. Bhagavatyante. Bhagavatyante. You should not say Bhagavati ante, anante. No. Bhagavatya anante. Rati prasangascha tadashrayeshu mahatsuyam yamupayami srushtim maitriyastu sarvatra namo dvijebhyaha. Namo dvijebhyaha. So punha, again and again, I offer obeisances to you all. Somebody asked Prabhupada, how to reduce weight, Prabhupada? Prabhupada said, at least put 100 times Dandavat Pranam. What answer? I don't think that Parishit Maharaj is doing some exercise. No. He is again and again offering obeisances to Lord Krishna. Anante, who is having Ananta? Ananta means unlimited potency. Ratihi prasanga. Ratihi means that attachment should be there for the association of devotees. Prasanga means association. Chatat ashriyeshu. Prasanga with whom? Those who have taken shelter and they are his devotees. Mahatsu. Within this material creation, one should take ashraya of the devotees. Yam, wherever. Upayami srishtim, wherever I may be born. Maitrihi astu, wherever I may be born, O Lord. I should have association. Maitrihi. Maitrihi means friendly relation. With whom? With the devotees. Sarvatraha namaha dvijebhyaha, unto the Brahmanas. Let me, even if I have to take birth in this material world, I will have complete attachment to the unlimited Lord. Bhave mestu bhavat prasadat. Oh Lord, even if I am born again, let me have attachment to you. Let me have association of your devotees, and let me be friendly to all living entities. Sarvatraha maitrihi. The Lakshana of the devotees. Lakshana of the devotees is he should be friendly with everyone. He should not have any inimical attitude. He should not have any criticizing tendency. He should love each and every one. If he is having groupism, then understand he is not a devotee. Prahlad Maharaj, when Sandamarka, when they told about the politics, they were teaching that subject politics. They said, he is friend, he is enemy. Then he said, this is not the teachings which I want to learn. Everyone is part and parcel of Krishna. You cannot say he is my enemy, he is my friend. No. So a devotee is equal to everyone. Even if something wrong happens to him, he sees that as a will of providence and his own karmas. He doesn't blame anyone. So this is a lakshana of Bhagavatottamaha, which we are studying in Chaitanya Bhagavat also. Bhagavatottamaha never blames anyone. He blames himself only. He sees everyone as part and parcel of Krishna. So to come to that stage, the sadhana bhakti will slowly make us come to the stage of prema bhakti. In the stage of prema bhakti, a person is realized in such a way that he never sees anybody as his enemy nor his friend, because he is completely attached to Krishna. Okay, Sanjay Prabhu, please read.
Yes, Mother. Hare Krishna. That a devotee of the Lord is the only perfect living being is explained herein by Maharaj Parikshit. A devotee of the Lord is no one's enemy, although there may be many enemies of a devotee. A devotee of the Lord does not like to associate with non-devotees, although he has no enmity with them. He desires association with the devotees of the Lord. This is perfectly natural because birds of the same feather mix together. And the most important function of a devotee is to have complete attachment for Lord Shri Krishna, the father of all living beings. As a good son of the father behaves in a friendly way with all his other brothers, so also the devotee of the Lord, being a good son of the Supreme Father Lord Krishna, sees all other living beings in relation with the Supreme Father. He tries to bring back the upstart sons of the Father to a center stage and to get them to accept the Supreme Fatherhood of God. Maharaj Parikshit was certainly going back to Godhead, but even if he were not to go back, he prayed for a pattern of life which is the most perfect way in the material world. A pure devotee does not desire the company of a personality as great as Brahma, but he prefers the association of a petty living being, provided he is a devotee of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
What is more important is association of a devotee. That is what we have to pray. Oh Lord, let me always remember your devotional service. Let me have the association of devotees. Iti smaraja dhyavasaya yuktaha. Iti smaraja dhyavasaya yuktaha. Prachina muleshu कुशेषु धीरः उदन्मुखो दक्षिणकूल आस्ते उदन्मुखो दक्षिणकूल आस्ते समुद्रपत्न्यः स्वसुत न्यस्तभारः समुद्रपत्न्यः स्वसुतन्यस्तभारः इति स्मराजा ध्यवसाय युक्तः प्राचीनमूलेषु कुशेषु धीरः उदन्मुखो दक्षिणकूल आस्ते समुद्रपत्न्यः स्वसुतन्यस्तभारः. So now what did Parikshit Maharaj do? So what did he do? He sat down. Where? On a seat of straw. So kusheshu. Kusheshu means the seat which is made from kusha grass. And then he sat on the facing on the northern side. On the southern side, he sat, placed on the southern side of the Ganga, facing towards north. He sat on which side? Just see, south side. Actually, when the yajna is done, there is an agni which is removed. If you have observed, and that is kept on the south side. That represents the Agni which is used for lighting or for the cremation, lighting the body, or you can say for the burning the body. It is on the southern side of the bank, and he faced towards north. So in this way, what he did was Bhara, this Bhara, the charge of administration, he gave to Swasuta, to his son. Adhyavasaya. Adhyavasaya means self-control, perseverance. Such a controlled king, such a self-controlled. Yuktaha prachinaha. He engaged, sitting on a seat made with kusha grass, with the roots facing towards east. And such a self-controlled king, Dhiraha, he sat on the southern side, facing toward the northern side, and he gave his kingdom Samudrapatnyaha. Samudrapatnyaha. So he sat on the bank of Ganga. Ganga is considered to be the wife of Samudra. Samudra is considered to be Vishnu. So in this way, Swasutaha Nyastaha Bharaha. Nyasta means gave. What he gave is Bharaha, the charge of administration. That is how one should retire. One should not be so engaged in working materialistic life. The administration or the responsibility should be given to the children. You say, our children are not taking only, what we'll do. Not taking, then come to the temple and stay. Don't force your children to take them, because you have not trained them in the beginning. One should give this, the administration or the bhara, especially when one has a own business. And somebody is working in the office, what he is going to give? He can only retire from the office. If he has business, he has to take care of the administration, all those things that can be given, should be passed on. Okay, Vimla Mataji, read.
The river Ganga is celebrated as the wife of the sea. The seat of Kuru straw is considered to be sanctified if the straw is taken out of the earth complete with root. And if the root is pointed toward the east, it is considered to be auspicious. Facing the north is still more favorable for attaining spiritual success. Maharaj Parikshit handed over the charge of administration to his son before leaving home. He was thus fully equipped for all favorable conditions.
Okay. Evam च तस्मिन् नरदेवे देवे प्रायोपविष्टे दिवि देव संगः प्रशस्य भूमौ व्यकिरन् प्रसूनैर्मुदा मुहुर्दुन्दुभयश्च नेदुः एवं च तस्मिन् नरदेव देवे प्रायोपविष्टे दिवि देव संगः प्रशस्य भूमौ व्यकिरन् प्रसूनैर्मुदा मुहुर्दुन्दुभयश्च नेदुः. Now there a dundubi is there na? In our place now, crackers they are busting. You just see what coincidence. Dundubi also has sound. The crackers are also bursting. That means what we are reading is Sakshat. We are also with Parikshit Maharaj. Evam cha tasmin naradeva deve. So in this way, thus, naradeva deve, upon the king, naradeva deve, upon the kings, prayah upavishte, he was engaged in fasting to death. Naradeva deve, understand it very nicely. King is considered to be the lord of human. He is a leader, the lord of human. Unto him, Divi, Deve, Sangaha, all the demigods, what they started doing, Prashasya. They praised his action. And then they scattered flowers. Bhumau Vyakiran Prasunaha. They scattered flowers in pleasure, Muda, Muhu Dundubhya, and continually celestial drums, Neduhu beaten. So how excited are the devas, just, oh, such a great soul is sitting and chanting the holy name. It is said when a self-realized soul passes from the earthly planet and goes towards Goloka Dham, gets an opportunity to enter the spiritual world, the devatas, they stand with folded hands, with bowed heads, and in this way they worship such self-realized souls. And they glorify him, they put flowers on him. Then they play the drums, kettle drums. So such is the festival which is done in the Devaloka, seeing a Nara, that means a human, at last getting freed from this earthly planet and going to the godly kingdom. So such is a position. And Devatas, they know that they have to take responsibilities. So that is why, even though they are eager to go to the spiritual world, but Lord is not far for them, because Lord comes to their abode. Lord comes to Brahmaloka every day to take lunch. Now is the lunch time going on for Brahmaji. His birthday celebration is going on, 51st year. Prarabdha is there. So Lord comes in the middle, like every day is divided into 14 manus. Now we are in the Vaivaswat Manu, that means we are in the 7th Manu, in the middle section now going on. So now Lord is having wonderful prasadam along with bhoga is offered now for Lord. So he is having wonderful bhoga with Brahmaji. So Lord comes to meet the Devatas. Devatas cannot go away from their responsibilities. But Devatas are very happy to see Naras taking up devotional service and going back home, back to Godhead. Okay. Vrindavan Neela Mataji, read.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Even up to the time of Maharaj Parikshit, there were interplanetary communications, and the news of Maharaj Parikshit's fasting unto death to attain salvation reached the higher planets in the sky, where the intelligent demigods live. The demigods are more luxurious than human beings, but all of them are obedient to the orders of the Supreme Lord. There is no one in the heavenly planets who is an atheist or non-believer. Thus, any devotee of the Lord on the surface of the earth is always praised by them. And in the case of Maharaj Parikshit, they were greatly delighted and thus gave tokens of honor by scattering flowers over the earth and by beating celestial drums. A demigod takes pleasure in seeing someone go back to Godhead. He is always pleased with the devotee of the Lord, so much so that by his Adidevic powers, he may help the devotees in all respects, and by their actions, the Lord is pleased with them. There is an invisible chain of complete cooperation between the Lord, the demigods, and the devotees of the Lord on earth. Hare Krishna.
So there is an invisible chain of complete cooperation between the Lord, demigods, and the devotees on the earth. Lord himself says in Bhagavad Gita that I have created the demigods. I have created this sacrifice so that the people will be trained to give to the demigods. And in this way, they will come out of that stena vritti. That means, and by parasparam bhavam, they can fulfill each other's desire. Well, ultimately, who is a devotee who understands that the real benefactor is Krishna? Okay. Maharshayo vai samupagataye prashassa sadvityu modamanaha uchu prajanu grahashila sara yadut यदुत्तमश्लोकगुणाभिरूपं महर्षयो वै समुपागता मे। ये महर्षयो वै समुपागता ये प्रशस्य साध्वित्यनुमोदमानाः ऊचुः प्रजानुग्रहशीलसारा यदुत्तमश्लोकगुणाभिरूपम्. So all the sages there, Maharshaya, Samubhagataha, they were assembled there. They started praising Prashasya, Sadhu, Sadhu. Sadhu means, oh, right decision, right decision. So they say, oh, wonderful, wonderful. Instead of that, you can say Sadhu, Sadhu. Sadhu, Sadhu means wonderful decision. Madanaha, Anumati dena. Is an Anumati, approved. They approved the decision taken by Parikshit Maharaj. He said that I'm going to fast unto death. I'm going to wait for the bird to come and snake bird to come and bite me. Till the time, let us all chant the holy name of Lord. So in this way, they approved. Praja Anugraha. The sages generally, they do good to the people. Sheela Saraha. They are qualitatively very powerful. Why? Because Yat means because Uttama Shloka Guna Abhirupam. They are always engaged in praising Lord. One of the name of Lord is Uttama Shloka. Uttama Shloka means one who is praised by the choicest of the choicest words. And Uttama Shloka also means whatever words you choose to praise Krishna, that itself becomes Uttama Shloka. Two meanings are there. You may be a duffer number one. You don't know how to write also. But somehow you have so much of love for Krishna. So whatever words come, they become Uttama Shloka. And then he is praised by the choicest words. Uttama Shloka. And Guna Abhirupam. So in this way, they are very powerful. They praise Lord, who is as beautiful as godly, and the devotees are, the sages are Abhirupam. Abhirupam means they have all the godly qualities. So these Maharshya, the sages, they praise the decision, they approve the decision of Parikshit Maharaj. They are very pleased with Parikshit Maharaj. And sages have the qualitative power of Krishna. They always praise Krishna. So that is how here in this shloka, the quality of the sages are given. They always try to do good to the common man. This is the most important quality of the sages. They always try to do good to the people. If somebody is not having anything, they try to give it. They don't deprive people of anything. They try to give blessings, give relief in this way. So that is the nature of a sadhu, because they have that power of the Lord. Srila Prabhupada is a sadhu. He went everywhere and gave good and gave benefit to the people. He did good to the common man. So that is how they were very pleased to see Parikshit Maharaj, a great devotee of the Lord. And then they spoke as follows. Okay, Venkatesh Avatar Prabhu, please read.
Hare Krishna. Dandatnam. The natural beauty of living being is enhanced by rising up to the platform of devotional service. Maharaj Parikshit was absorbed in attachment for Lord Krishna. Seeing this, the great sages assembled were very pleased, and they expressed their approval by saying, "Very good." Such sages are naturally inclined to do good to the common man, and when they see a personality like Maharaj Parikshit advance in devotional service, their pleasure knows no bound, and they offer all blessings in their power. The devotional service of the Lord is so auspicious that all the demigods and sages up to the Lord himself, because pleased with the devotee, and therefore the devotee finds everything auspicious. All inauspicious matters are removed from the path of the progressive devotees. Meeting all the great sages at the time of death was certainly auspicious for Maharaj Parikshit, and thus he was blessed by so-called curse of a Brahmana boy. Hare Krishna.
So this was auspicious because of the curse of Shringi. Here Parikshit Maharaj could meet so many devotees. And then transcendental topics started. Nava idam rajar shivarya chitram bhavatsu krishnam samanuvriteshu ye dhyasanam rajakiritajustam sadyo juhur bhagavat parshvakamaham. Nava idam rajar shivarya chitram Bhavatsu Krishnam Samanuvrateshu Ye dhyasanam rajakiritajustam Sadyo Jahur Bhagvat Parshvakamaham. So the sages said, no, the sages are speaking. Sages said, O Rajarshi, O saintly king, you are the chief, Variyaha, you are the chief. And Chitramna, it's not astonishing. Bhavatsu Krishnam, it's not astonishing. Samanu Vrateshu, you are so much strictly in the line of disciplic succession, you can say. Adhyasanam, you are seated on the throne. Rajakiritaha, helmets of kings, Jushtam, decorated. Sadhya, you may Sadhya Juhu. It's not astonishing that you gave up all these things. Because that is your nature, you are Rishi, you are Raja Rishi. Rishi means already who doesn't have any attachment for anything. So it is not at all astonishing that you have given up. You don't have attachment, then what is there to give up? Somebody should have attachment. Then only you will praise, oh, he has given up. He doesn't have attachment only, then where is the question of giving up? Like Lord says, a devotee need not remember me at the time of death. Why? He has not forgotten me only, na? So where is the question of remembering me? He has not forgotten me. And you ask a mother, are you remembering your child? And she says, where I have forgotten my child? I don't have to specially remember my child. In the same way, Lord says, a devotee need not specially remember me. Antakale mami was Smaranamuktua Kalevaram. So for this is for the conditioned souls, at least in the time of death, please remember. For a devotee, where he has forgotten. So that is why when Varadaraj Perumal was asked a question by Kanchipurna, Tirukachi Nambi, on the request of Ramanujacharya, please ask, I have some doubts. In the 6th Mahavakya, this is the 4th Mahavakya. The 4th Mahavakya is, a devotee need not remember me at the time of death. And 5th Mahavakya is, I personally take the responsibility to make the devotee remember me or make the devotee come back to me. And in this, because devotee is part and parcel of me, he knows that I am the supreme. He is always chanting my holy name. In this, the 3 Mahavakyas were given. In the 4th Mahavakya, devotee need not remember me at the time of death. Because I take it as a personal responsibility to take him back to God. So that is what he is doing whole life. Whole life is meant for serving Krishna. So where is the question of forgetting Krishna? So that has been given here. So it is not at all astonishing. People may think, oh, you have given up your Rajya, everything. But we know that you are Rishi. Already you have detachment for all these things. You are not attached. So there is nothing so wonderful that you have given up everything. Raja Kiritaha. Parshakamaha. Because you always desire Bhagavat Parshakamaha. Bhagavat Parshakama means you always desire the association of personality of Godhead. You desire the association of the devotees so that you can always hear about Krishna. Okay. Ravindra Sachiputra Das. Sachiputra Prabhu. Sachadev Prabhu. Nice name you got. Ravindra Sachiputra Prabhu.
Police politicians who hold political and administrative posts think that
Your voice is not coming proper. Voice is not coming proper. Keep your voice properly, or somebody else can read. Vrindavan Neela Mataji can read. Or Bindu Mataji can read.
Police politicians who hold political and administrative posts think that the temporary posts they occupy are the highest material gain of life. And therefore, they stick to those posts even up to the last moment of life, without knowing that achievement of liberation as one of the associates of the Lord in his eternal abode is the highest gain of life. The human life is meant for achieving this end. The Lord has assured us in the Bhagavad Gita many times that going back to Godhead, his eternal abode, is the highest achievement. Prahlad Maharaj, while praying to Lord Narasimha, said, "Oh my Lord, I am very much afraid of the materialistic way of life. I am not the least afraid of your present ghastly, ferocious feature as Narasimha. This materialistic way of life is something like a grinding stone, and we are being crushed by it. We have fallen into this horrible whirlpool of the tossing waves of life. Thus, my Lord, I pray at your lotus feet to call me back to your eternal abode as one of your servitors. This is the summit liberation of this materialistic way of life. I have very bitter experience of the materialistic way of life. In whichever species of life I have taken birth, compelled by the force of my own activities, I have very painfully experienced two things, namely separation from my beloved and meeting with what is not wanted. And to counteract them, the remedies which I undertook were more dangerous than the disease itself. So I drift from one point to another, birth after birth. And I pray to you, therefore, to give me a shelter at your lotus feet.
Okay. Okay, stop here.
Thank
So the
you.
materialistic way of life is something like a grinding stone. We have been crushed by it. How Prahlad Maharaj speaks this. Yeah, I am afraid of this materialistic life. I am not afraid of the form. Your form is very beautiful. Ugropyanugrevayam Savaktanam Narakesari Kesari Sapotanam Anyesham Ugravikrama. You may be very fearful to others. Like the lion is very fearful to others, but the cub is always attached to the lion. Ugropyanugrevayam Savaktanam Narakesari. So though the lion is Ugra, Kesari means the lion. But for the cub, the lion is very sweet. Mother, no? In the same way, for me, you are very sweet. But I am afraid of this materialistic life because I have been already grinded in this. Okay, Bindu Mataji, read from here.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Pranam Mataji. The Pandava kings, who are more than many saints of the world, knew the bitter results of the materialistic way of life. They were never captivated by the glare of the imperial throne they occupied, and they sought always the opportunity to being called by the Lord to associate with him eternally. Maharaj Parikshit was the worthy grandson of Maharaj Yudhishthira. Maharaj Parikshit was the worthy grandson of Maharaj Yudhishthira. Maharaj Yudhishthira gave up the imperial throne to his grandson, and similarly Maharaj Parikshit, the grandson of Maharaj Yudhishthira, gave up the imperial throne to his son Janame Jaya. Janame Jaya. That is the way of all the kings in the dynasty, because they are all strictly in the line of Lord Krishna. Thus, the devotees of the Lord are never enchanted by the glare of materialistic life, and they live impartially, unattached to the objects of the false, illusionary, materialistic way of life. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Okay. Last words for today. Sarve vayam tavat ihasmahetha कलेवरं यावदसौ विहाय लोकं परं विरजक्षं विशोकं यस्य यास्यति अयं भागवत प्रधानः सर्वे वयं तावद् इहास्महे कलेवरं यावदसौ विहाय लोकं परं विरजस्कं विशोकं यास्यत्ययं भागवत प्रधान. Okay. So we shall all wait here. So the sages said, let us all wait here. Vayam. Tavad, as long as. Asmahe, we shall wait here. Till the king gives up Kalevaram, the body. And Lokam Param returns to the Param Loka. Virajaskam is completely free from all the mundane contamination and is also free from any lamentation also. Yasyati ayam bhagavata pradhanaha. This way he returns to the spiritual world. He is Bhagavata Pradhana, the foremost of the devotees. So let us all wait till Maharaj Parikshit, who is the foremost of the devotees, leave his body and returns to the spiritual world. And he is free from all lamentation. He is free from all contamination. Okay. Vrindavan Mataji, read.
Hare Krishna. Beyond the limitation of the material creation, which is compared to the cloud in the sky, there is the Paravyoba, or the spiritual sky, full of planets called Vaikunthas. Such Vaikuntha planets are also differently known as the Purushottama Loka, Achyuta Loka, Tivrikama Loka, Rishikesha Loka, Keshava Loka, Aniruddha Loka, Madhava Loka, Pradyumna Loka, Sankarshana Loka, Sridhara Loka, Vasudeva Loka, Ayodhya Loka, Dwarka Loka, and many other millions of spiritual lokas, wherein the personality of Godhead predominates. All the living entities there are liberated souls with spiritual bodies as good as that of the Lord. There is no material contamination. Everything there is spiritual, and therefore there is nothing objectively lamentable. They are full of transcendental bliss and are without birth, death, old age, and disease. And amongst all the above mentioned Vaikuntha Lokas, there is one supreme lok called Golok Vrindavan, which is the abode of the Lord Sri Krishna and his specific associates. Maharaj Parikshit was destined to achieve this particular loka, and the great rishis assembled there could foresee this. All of them consulted among themselves about the great departure of the great king, and they wanted to see him up to the last moment because they would no more be able to see such a great devotee of the Lord. When a great devotee of the Lord passes away, there is nothing to be lamented because the devotee is destined to enter into the kingdom of God. But the sorry plight is that such great devotees leave our sight, and therefore there is every reason to be sorry. As the Lord is rarely to be seen by our present eyes, so also are the great devotees. The great rishis therefore correctly decided to remain on the spot till the last moment. Hare Krishna.
That is why the Tirobhav we see Jaya Nilo Premadhana. This is the Premadhana. This is devotees are the topmost dhana. The desire is that they should be always present before us. But when they leave, somebody asked Srila Prabhupada, what should we do when we leave? Prabhupada said, cry like how the queen cries for the king. So that cry should be there. And like Vyasa cried for Sukadeva Goswami, Putreti, Putreti. So you can cry for a devotee. When your spiritual master leaves the body, one should cry. Yes, because I want to see him. Even today also, when the Guru Aarti goes, if you see in Vrindavan, the very nearest devotees of Srila Prabhupada, they have tears in their eyes. We should always have that eagerness to see the presence of the spiritual master. The spiritual master is not present before, that the cry should be there. That is how the love is exhibited. So here we stop. Any doubts you can ask.
Yeah. What about directions, north and east directions favorable for spiritual progress?
Yes, yes. North is favorable. Ishan, that is known as Ishan. That direction is known as north. North is favorable for directions. That is specific in the Vastus. Like the head of Vastu Deva is on the north side, something like that is there. When they draw like that, only they will draw. The head will be in the north, the legs will be in the south, and it will be the Vasudeva's full form. According to Vastu, north is considered, if you have north entry, it is very good. Northeast entry is considered to be the best. So, Vastu is. How and all, ask when you study Vastu, the time you'll understand. These are science actually. It's a science. And it also depends on your movement, like your sleeping position. When the earth rotating. So in that, our sleeping position also should be like that only. It is generally said the head should be in the something. I am not too expert in that, but it is said, yes, the face should be facing towards the north. Even when you go in the train also, you have to go along with the train. You cannot be in the opposite direction. It's effective. The same way here also. It all depends on our rotation of the earth. There are many, actually it's a science actually, it's complete science. Suddenly if you ask, then I have only this much, where you have to face, what you have to face.
And Mataji, second question is, what is the difference between suicide and then deliberately stop taking food, etc.?
Suicide is frustration, but this is remembrance. Suicide is complete frustration and giving up the body. Waiting for the death and chanting the holy name is a pleasure. It's not frustration, it's a pleasure. Gyan Deep Prabhu.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I have a doubt in this text 18. Then devotee of the Lord on the surface of the earth is always praised by the demigods. So now in case of Maharaj Parikshit, he is a special case because he was protected in the womb by the Lord himself. But other devotee, we have learned that demigods are sending Menaka and disturbing him in devotion. And some other examples also. So
that's again the act of Maya. Like when Prithu Maharaj was doing so much of sacrifice, Indra used to come and steal the horse. So that is again the test given by Lord, and sending the demigods to teach them. Oh, Nara is trying to do some sacrifice.
And the second one is this throne which is decorated with the helmets of many kings. What is the meaning?
Where it is, he is ready to give up all these things. King means actually he is decorated with the helmets of many kings. He has taken control over the whole earthly planet. So he has many kingdoms. So he has the helmet of many kings. Everybody has surrendered to him. Because his grandfather has done Rajasuya Yajna. Naturally, all the kings have given their helmets to him. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Maharaj.
Okay. Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Mataji, I have 2-3 questions, but they are all short ones. Mataji, one is related to this 18th verse only, where we see Naradeva Deve. So Naradeva is king. Then what is the significance of?
Unto him.
Means Deve means unto.
Unto him. Naradeva, Deve, to him.
And Mataji, I'm not able to recall the shloka, but in one of the verses somewhere I had read, when we refer to the king, he is referred to the king of people. Like here we see Naradeva. Then Brahman is referred to as moving Devata on the earth, something like that. Mataji, what is it?
Yeah.
What is the difference to
Yeah, he is also considered as Naradeva only.
Naradeva only?
Brahman, because he is guiding the Kshatriya.
Okay. I was getting confused, so I wanted to take care.
For them also, Naradeva only is told.
Actually, same word is used. Okay. And then the second was, it's related to what Vimla Mataji asked about the direction of the straw. Like, what difference does it make to somebody like Parikshit Maharaj Mataji? Like, he is such an exalted devotee. He is transcendental to all these things. So why
Still
these kind of details?
He is not crossing the injunctions of the Vedas. Like Ramanujacharya. I'm not able to recollect. Yeah. Kuratalwa did not, Kanchipurna. Kanchipurna did not give initiation to Ramanujacharya. Because the Vedas say that if you are a higher Brahmana, lower Brahmana, whatever the caste is, then only a Brahmana can give initiation. So he says, I am not qualified. I am following the injunction. In the same way, directions also invoking auspiciousness. What is the problem? Why invoke inauspiciousness? When you face towards south, why face inauspicious? Why you face auspiciousness, you want to hear more about Lord.
Of course. Actually, long time back, I had read one mail. I think it was a quote from Srila Prabhupada, which one of the Maharajas had shared. He said, what difference does it make when we are in the material world, surrounded by all negativity? So what will this make any difference? But I personally, I feel that, okay, it does make a difference for a person.
It makes a difference.
Yes,
it makes a difference for, it's also Parikshit Maharaj is such an exalted personality. He is following the injunctions or not. Yes. We cannot become complacent just because we have taken up devotional service. Understand? Devotional service is not for making these injunctions. We cannot become complacent for that. Oh, we are devotees anyhow. No. Maharaj Parikshit, he followed which directions to sit and all. He followed. Like when you do puja, you have to face towards east. When Agni is there, you have to face towards east. You cannot say, why? We can face anywhere. Pujari says, you face towards east. You should face towards east. You sit on the right of your husband. Why go and sit in the left of the husband? Why? What is told, just finish it off. Now, what it makes a difference? Okay. Why negate and create some extra attention? Just follow and be peaceful. Now, what is the problem? Do negate a statement and show that we don't follow all these things. That is again drawing attention towards you only. No?
Very true. Very true. No, I remember there was one devotee, she said, my Maharaj is strictly against we people wearing Narsimha Kavacha. I said, why so? She said, no, he is saying because we are already protected by the Mahamantra, we need not wear anything extra.
What is the problem if you are protected by Narsimha Kavach?
I have absolutely no problem. I'm partial to observe.
So this type of negation, this type of extra things. What is the problem? If Narsimha Kavach is protecting somebody, Narsimha Kavach is not against Hare Krishna Mahamantra, or there is not a competition between Narsimha Kavach and Hare Krishna Mahamantra. There's a competition. So this is all something extra, and because of this extra things only, people reject us. Simple and simple. We are not accepted in the society only because of this. There are cultured Brahmanas who really don't want to come just because we act too much. We don't want to act anyhow. So just peaceful, huh? Be peaceful.
Actually, I'm just sharing it. Many years ago, my father-in-law, Mataji, he got initiated in 1979. So long time back, since long he was associated with this movement. And when he was following it, he was naturally instructed to follow it very strictly, which he was doing. He was, kind of ostracized from the village. Everybody said he has become a Christian. He is no longer a Hindu. So, though he is a Brahmana, still he was not allowed
Yeah,
to
yeah.
touch.
That is why people
Um,
reject us too much.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Very
Now
true.
somebody says, I'm chanting Hanuman Chalisa. No, no, you should not chant. Are why you should not chant? Hanuman is a devotee of Lord. What is he saying in that? Just chant the holy name. What is the problem? Main is
Very
what is
right.
the problem? Just ask what is the problem. If we chant Hanuman Chalisa, if we are chanting Narsimha Kavach, what is the problem?
Mataji, why do we have so many confusions in implementation? Same
Because,
philosophy and
yeah,
same
yeah,
acharya.
because when Prabhupada spoke, at the time the audience was foreigners. And
Yes,
many things could not be taught to them.
very true.
So that doesn't mean that Prabhupada did not want to teach them. Prabhupada did not have time, neither they had that intentions to grasp it. Okay, at least do one thing.
Very
At least
true.
do one thing. But Prabhupada did not reject Vedas. And
Yes.
Vedas speaks about Upasana Kanda. Vedas speaks about Karma Kanda. Yeah, but we have to see the object of Karma Kanda, object of Upasana Kanda. Object of the same thing, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes in Chaitanya Bhagavat. Object of Upasana Kanda should be to worship Krishna. Vedesha Sarve Rahame Vividya. Because that time that was not. So what happens is they made it very rigid. Prabhupada did not say, Prabhupada did not say because you could not understand. Simple.
Very true.
You would have not
Very true.
understood. So that is why better give one chocolate instead of giving so many things, give one chocolate. And which is the topmost. But that doesn't mean that the processes are wrong because Vedas are spoken by Krishna himself.
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
I will be removed from. Somebody hears my class now. Please will attack me now. Anyhow, why should I be afraid?
I'll be
Whatever
the
is true.
instrument. Nimitta.
Kanakanga Chaitanya Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Mataji, I was hearing from YouTube, so I just reached my home actually. I want to ask one question, Mataji, just like Vrindavan Leela Mataji asked one question. Actually, some devotee has gifted me some Shalagram Shila, and at same time he gave me one Narmadeshwar Shila also. So some devotees came to me and like how I'm worshipping that Narmadeshwar Shila, I used to do Abhishekam for my Shalagram first. And the same water, I will remove the tulasi and then I will bathe the Narmadeshwar Shila with that. But then some devotees came and then they told that you are following Srila Prabhupada. Why you are keeping Narmadeshwar Shila in your altar? You should not keep Narmadeshwar Shila in your altar. So somehow still that Shila is with me. But like this, just Mataji asked, like so many devotees have different opinion. So sometimes we get confused, like what should we do in this type of situation?
Just be peaceful, do whatever you're doing. Narmadeshwar Shila is whose because I'm hearing for the first time. Really. It's a Lord Shiva.
Yes, Mataji. Yes.
Then you should have. And in the right way, Shaligram Shila's water is given to Lord Shiva. Like some have linga in the house. No problem. Worship now. What is the problem? If you have it, worship. Vaishnavana Mitha Shambhu. Just not by the lip service.
Yes. Yes, Mataji. We are worshipping him like as a Vaishnava.
Yes.
Like after offering bhoga to Lord, we'll give him as a Mahaprashadam and we'll just take his blessings only.
Yes. So ask the devotees, who is Lord Shiva? The Vaishnavana Mitha Shambhu, they answer. Okay, that is lip service. This is real service.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Tomorrow is Yugadi. Yugadi is the new year for Kannada, new year for Maharashtrians, new year for Telugu also. And tomorrow we are going for Goshala trip.
Jai.
Hare Krishna. Sanatan Dharma. It's Goshala. Jagdeep Prabhu, you are not there in the Goshala.
Mataji, tomorrow this the Devi Puja at home Kalash is Stafana.
Do
So
everything in the morning and come now.
some help is required
Best way to begin the day with
Yeah,
the darshan
come
and
to
service
Goshala.
of Kumar.
Yeah, come to Goshala. Hare Krishna.